Hello and welcome to the Seahawkers podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Schultz, and today I am joined by my good buddy, Adam Emmert. As Adam, we're delving back into the film review area of our podcast waters.
So we took a little test flyer doing some Milrow breakdown, and response was nice, and that was fun, and we do appreciate that. So we thought, or you thought, you came up with the idea, let's do some Sam Darnold stuff, and this is gonna be fun today because we get to look at some of the good from Sam Darnold, some of the fun, and I'm looking forward to it. You've picked out a few plays here, and I haven't seen them, so this will be just kind of me reacting out the gate here too, but this is going to be a good time, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, how I got to the place that we are today is that the NFL film room that they have set up now. So if you have one of those NFL Plus subscriptions, you can go through and you can fill around with all kinds of things and dial up certain types of plays. And I guess where my mind got the most curious first was to look at how Sam Darnold was under pressure, and not just under pressure. Well, I put it under pressure, then it was still too many plays, and I'm like, and so I wanted to narrow it down even further because I didn't want to go through like 150 plays to try and decide which 7 or 8 we were going to look at. And so as I narrowed it down, I got to Sam Darnold under pressure and in late game moments where the Vikings were coming from behind. And I thought, oh, well, this is great because, if you think of pressure moments and then ultimate pressure moments, if a quarterback's under pressure from the defensive line and he's under pressure of having to bring his team back, and with the Vikings going 14-3 last year, they did have, Sam Darnold had 5 fourth quarter comebacks or game-winning drives, which matched the number that he had throughout his career. He had 5. Now after last year, he had 10. So it just gives you an idea of where the Vikings were. And he had these late game moments where he needed to come back.
Absolutely. This is a good look at some of the clutchiness that we are always looking for. And I think is one of the more important things when you're talking about the quarterback position. One of the things that we enjoyed about Geno was that he was able to come through in the clutch with his fourth quarter comebacks, and to know that Sam has a few of these on tape from last year, that's pretty exciting. So some cool stuff here. And when you think about clutchiness, there's a few things in life that you can do that are clutch for yourself, and one of those has to do with our sponsor, Brandon.
Yes, we want to thank our sponsor, Body Spec. If you are into those clutch time moments and you want to come through in the clutch with your body, whether you're an adult, well, most of us are adults, but whether you're an athlete, a fitness enthusiast, or just getting back in shape, Body Spec has you covered. For less than the price of a haircut, you can access DEXA scans, the world's most accurate body composition scan. And right now, we are offering an exclusive $10 discount on single scans. You just got to use the promo code SHP at checkout. You can give it as a gift to a family member or a great gift for yourself. These DEXA scans from Body Spec, they focus on the numbers that actually matter: your body composition, your bone density, and overall health metrics. It's a powerful way to take charge of your well-being without the need for insurance or complicated procedures. Give the gift of a DEXA scan today. Hit that QR code you see on the screen or go to bodyspec.com/C-Hawkers and use that promo code SHP for your special Flockers discount. Way less than $100. You got to check out the final price for yourself. And Adam, we thank our sponsor, Body Spec. And what do you say we get into some Sam Darnold video here, man?
There you go. And look, and then for those of you who don't normally tune into our show, we're not necessarily X's and O's guys, so we're not going to be talking about Y cross or spider 2Y banana. We're just looking at football things, looking at what happened throughout the play, and talking about some of the things we like, maybe we don't like, and kind of going from there. So, Brandon, what do you have queued up for us here first? Is it against the Detroit Lions, the big bad Detroit Lions? Okay.
We got the Detroit Lions here. And I wanted to just start off small, just, nothing particularly special with this play. It's just that, Well, one, it was the first game against the Lions for the Vikings. They were down 28-17 in the third quarter. And as you can see, kind of in this first freeze, the right guard is just about to get beat and flush Darnold to his left. Again, nothing incredible here, but just some of that little bit of pocket maneuverability to buy time and get the open receiver.
Well, what's cool about this is at the beginning of the play, you see the left tackle. Is that Darisaw that's there? Or is that Cam Robinson when he was in there? I don't know who.
I think this would have been Darisaw then at early on.
I think so as well. And so you see him, he gets beat relatively quickly as well. And so you have pressure coming from two directions at the same time here, one up the middle and one around the edge. And usually that's disaster for a quarterback. So you see the edge rusher, he gets around Darisaw. Darnold steps up, but also feels the pressure coming from the middle. And these are the meat and potatoes types of QB plays that get me excited. This is the stuff we can look at highlights all day, but going through and seeing a guy having to maneuver the pocket here and he keep his eyes up, find the open receiver and get a nice solid positive gain, 5-6 yards here. That's solid QB play.
And the thing about this too, I mean, if you think about where the pressure is probably going to be coming from in Seattle, it's probably that right guard spot. And that's who gets beat at this moment. The pressure around the outside, he kind of falls down a little bit too. It's not a great angle, but he does feel that pressure, which causes him to step up and then move to his left.
That's exactly it. He didn't have to look at it. He felt it. And I think that's a big deal for a lot of quarterbacks is there's some dudes we've seen them throughout time in the league where they just can't feel the pressure at all. And if they don't see it, then it's just, they're a sitting duck. So very nice, solid play from Sam there. And again, in a clutch time moment.
So we saw him moving to his left there against the Lions. Now let's take a look at him moving to his right here. And this one's a little bit more on the run. And as we pause it here, you know, he kind of has a couple of receivers open to on the right side, but they're relatively well covered up. But he has a guy deep, and he's got a guy falling down, which creates a big opening for him to pick up a big first down here.
You bet. And you might think that he bailed from the pocket there a little early, possibly, like didn't necessarily need to get out the second that he did, but it does appear as if the pressure would be coming to him sooner rather than later here. Yeah, I suppose they're on the interior. He needed to go. Okay. So he gets out and, you know, a little more mobile than you think possibly. And you see the receiver underneath. And I think that especially young quarterbacks and maybe even Sam earlier in his career would, in this situation, go ahead and try to fit the ball into the receiver that would be moving from the from his, what would it be? His right to his left, the underneath receiver. And he doesn't do that. He actually has some patience and throws a decent ball on the run. It is a little behind, but manages to get the chunk play out of it. And that's a big deal.
Well, and part of this too, I wonder, this is Jalen Naylor too, which is a relatively young receiver. So as you see on the screen here, he's starting to roll to his right. And I guess I would, let's see, this is where he releases the ball. And you can see, I believe it's Naylor, 83. He's, you know, he does give him
the mailbox.
Pretty good.
Yeah. He gives him the mailbox. He puts his hand up. I'm open.
He puts his hand up, let him know he's open. He knows the guy behind him has fallen down. And, you know, he puts it out ahead of him decently. I think some of it may be on the receiver too, to go ahead and not overrun the ball either. But
that is not on Naylor. Get out of here with that. Like it's
Jefferson would have caught that and taken it to the house.
It was a little behind. It was a little behind, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a great play. No. And you do get that out in front of him a little bit more, and maybe you get another 10 yards out of it, but still a big chunk play in a clutch moment. And, you know, we need to see our quarterback be able to perform under the type of pressure that we are accustomed to here in Seattle. And that's a decent example of it.
Well, from a couple of okay examples, again, nothing super, like I saved some of the better stuff for later, but before we get to the good stuff, I do want to show a little bit of the bad. And this is an interception against the Indianapolis Colts, where you can see here the left guard or center is put on his backside. He just gets dump trucked. He rolls out to his left, and you can see where he thinks he has an opening, and he just either doesn't get enough on it, doesn't see the guy, and ends up throwing it to the Indianapolis linebacker here. But yeah, 64 just gets on his backside. So but again, mobility, you see it. Decision making in this case, not the greatest.
Not the greatest. In maybe he thought 44 would continue to carry across the screen there, but he certainly did it. I would say in this case, he probably just didn't see that hook defender there.
Right there where I paused it.
Yeah.
You can see in the back of the end zone, he's locked on his guy.
Yeah.
And if he throws it deep enough, then it's a touchdown.
Yeah. If he puts it more towards the top of the V back there in the back corner of the end zone, that's probably a touchdown. To be fair, rolling to his left, the way that he is contorted as you watch him release this ball, that's hard. I couldn't throw that 2 yards. And he at least gets it 20 yards downfield. Now, unfortunately, to the wrong guy. But I think those are some of the things that when you talk to Vikings fans that they talk about, is just that there's that just what type interception every now and then that would fall into the category to me that it's a bad pick.
But you see those from
every quarterback has them.
Yeah.
Every single quarterback has
rolling to your left, trying to get enough juice on the ball. It's not always going to be there when your mind thinks it and your arm says no.
They can't all be winners, man. They can't.
All right, this next one, we now go to, most of these are fourth quarter plays, and it just happened to turn out that some of these are against our NFC rivals.
Yeah.
NFC West rivals. This one, the Arizona Cardinals, they're down 19-13 at the start of the fourth quarter, and you can see Jordan Mason get beat by Kazir White there, and Darnold able to rip it downfield. And this one, I would say, is a good anticipation throw, because as we go back to the beginning here, you can see Justin Jefferson, as Sam Darnold throws this ball, he has not yet turned around. And it's right there. He's already in his windup. Jefferson hasn't turned around, and he fits it in between two diving defenders. So a nice tight window throw by Darnold here too.
That is a tight window throw, and not a difficult concept. I mean, just all hitches. That's what we have going on here. In a tight window with a guy bearing down on you, and he puts a tremendous amount of zip on it. People talk about, well, Sam can make all the throws. Here's a great example right here. I mean, let's see, he's throwing it from the 20 and connects at the 42, so 22 yards.
No, 47.
What? No, he's on his own. He completes it to his own side of the field.
Yeah, but it's the 40. It's 3 yards short of the 50.
Okay. And you're starting at the 20. So 27.
27.
Okay. Yeah. I thought you said 47. I was like,
no, it was caught at the 47. Sorry.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Very good. Well, yeah. Nice tight window throw there. First read, but I mean, having Justin Jefferson as your first read, that's not a bad thing right there.
Yeah, he's kind of looking at the middle of the field initially, I think, but maybe that's also to take the defense's eyes off of where he really wants to go, which is Jefferson.
if you're gonna get nitpicky here, if he gets off of, does it look like play it back one more time? Does he start with his eyes on 83, or does he start with his eyes over on JJ? So let's watch the back of his helmet here as he backs up. I think he's just looking to the middle of the field to try to hold a safety, then comes over to Jefferson. Now, if he does that and then goes over to Addison, go back to the all 22 play here. Watch Addison at the bottom of the screen here. He's right at the 40 right now, throttles down. He is wide ass open. You get it to him, and it's an even bigger play. But pass the sticks, first down, efficient. That's his first read. Open, hits it, rips it. Love it.
Yeah, and he might be sensing this blitz a little bit too once Mason comes in, and so that's where the pressure comes from, is the running back not quite picking up the blitz.
That's a good job.
That's well enough.
Yep.
But there it is.
But
So
it's a dot. Like, look,
oh, yeah.
that was accurate as hell. I mean, that's right on the money.
So now we're down 22-16 with just a minute and a half left in the game. They're down near the goal line. And this counts as pressure. And I wanted to bring this one up, one, because it is Darnold throwing the go-ahead touchdown to defeat the Arizona Cardinals. But also, I wanted to bring it up just to show that some of these plays that count technically as pressure, and you can see both the tackles are squeezing in. He does have the pressure technically from the backside, but as he hits his back foot, there's a guy open, and he's already kind of into his windup and delivers the throw. So it's would you consider this pressure?
No, absolutely not. Now, would I consider this playing on time and getting to his second read here? So the run and mesh, you can see the receivers cross right over the middle, and they're trying to get that natural pick. And then Seven actually points it out well and then picks up the back, but a step too slow, and Sam delivers the ball right out in front of him so he can keep going. And I know it's just a little flare route into the flat, but getting it to Aaron Jones in that way so he doesn't have to break stride is what allows that to be an easy touchdown. You end up throwing that on the back hip or something like that, and all of a sudden Seven's making a tackle in your second and goal or third and goal, whatever down it was.
But it is another illustration then where the NFL, it counts this as pressure in its pressure numbers. And again, it's arguable, I think.
It's not arguable. That's not pressure. That's a pretty clean pocket. Anytime Gino would get a pocket that good, I'd get excited.
Right. All right. So from a game-winning touchdown against the Cardinals to, I didn't want to close with this one, but we have to look at this game-winning touchdown against our Seahawks, Adam, because this might be the reason why he's on the Seahawks right now. Down 24-20 with just under 4 minutes left in the game. Derek Hall clearly held coming around the left side, but he's able to step up and throw this downfield to Justin Jefferson for the touchdown.
I mean, that throw was stupid. It's so freaking good. And, broke all of our hearts as fans. I ended up not watching this game live because I was working in the mill while I was going on, but coming back and watching the highlights, this is a heartbreaker. Just Julian Love taking a poor angle here over the top and is late. And Reek kind of gets beat with a stutter step. But Sam, here's the thing. Edge pressure's coming around by Derek Hall. He'd get there if he wasn't held because they're cheaters. That's fine. And then, but to keep his eyes up, look at where his head is just in the freeze frame here. Like,
right.
He's actually keeping his eyes downfield, sees it, and just throws an absolute laser from the 45. And Jefferson catches it about the 5? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 40 yards.
5 and the 3. Yeah.
40-yard frozen rope. That's impressive stuff. And that's what the high level guys do on the semi-regular.
Oh,
rather than
me,
just occasionally.
I went back to this all 22 view too, to make sure that he didn't go over the line of scrimmage too.
Yeah.
Like, am I sure? Did we actually win this game in my mind? And they missed a penalty other than the blatant holding?
Yeah, well behind the line of scrimmage. That's a bummer.
It was a couple yards. It was a good throw.
Yeah. God, they even had JJ bracketed.
I know.
I don't know why Julian was so late on that one. The receiver on the other side of the screen that was running kind of an in or crosser of some kind, or maybe it's an over. Yeah, here he is. He's on the 30.
Well,
he's just running a post. Okay.
This is the point that he recognizes. Okay, that guy's covered. I have Jefferson now.
Yeah, so you have help over the top. Yeah, Kobe Bryant's right on the receiver. I don't know why Julian's so late to go ahead and do his double team duties there, but Sam saw it, exploited it, and they get the dub. And that was a big game. That was a game that we were looking at as, hey, is this team maybe semi for real going into the playoffs here? Could they make a push? And unfortunately came up a little short.
All right. Well, let's get back to throws against our NFC West rivals and the Los Angeles Rams. Here is Darnold in the pocket. The right tackle's backing up. He makes just enough of an adjustment.
Not pressure either.
It's enough of an adjustment, though, that he resets his feet.
That's just a dirty pocket.
It's a little bit of a dirty pocket, but the other thing that I wanted to point out in this clip is where Aaron Jones is when Sam Darnold starts to throw this football. And I think I paused it here because, yes, you can see that he is, when he starts to throw, I mean, the back is pretty much covered and fits it into that opening down the field there.
That's a hell of a catch for a back.
It is too. But
Yeah.
not much pressure, but again, he's not comfortable in the pocket necessarily.
I expect every NFL quarterback to be just fine in that sort of situation. You have to function well in a semi-dirty pocket. This isn't even crazy. Nobody's around his knees or anything like that. But what I will say is the touch on that ball is outstanding. And with a right-handed quarterback, the ball's going to naturally kind of fade to the right as you slaunch it downfield just because of the spin of the ball. And he plays that perfectly. And God, what a catch by Aaron Jones. That's freaking impressive. But hitting what, I don't know what the Rams are in that. I don't know if you'd call that a too high look. Maybe they were cheating down. Looks like 27 there. The safety was maybe cheating down. But yeah, they're bailing out to a too high look here. And he finds the hole shot there. So a lot of outside the numbers for Sam here in this reel.
Again, another impressive catch there. He puts it in a spot only Jones can get to it, and that kind of goes the same for this clip against the Indianapolis Colts. Another touchdown throw, another it's kind of a crazy throw, but it's also maybe an extra crazy catch as he fits it in there, and Addison lays out and is able to make the catch. But this was down 7-0 in the third quarter, so not late in the game necessarily, but again, Zaire Franklin comes up the middle unblocked. He's got another guy chasing after him, and Darnold's just retreating backward and able to find Addison just from this look right here.
Is that a busted play? Like, why is Sam faking to nobody in the backfield?
Well, is he faking?
He's doing play action here. Like, watch him put the ball out, right? Just another frame or two ahead. Yeah.
I couldn't
it right there. There. Yeah. That's play action. So maybe this is a busted play. Maybe that's why the defender comes through untouched. But and 7 out of 10 on the ball. It is tough. It is tough to make this throw here with the guy bearing down on you. And is he going to throw it off his back foot here? Looks like he does. Yep. And just a 7 out of 10. Like, that's still a connection, but not a plus throw. Like a plus throw, but not a plus throw.
Oh yeah.
Being nitpicky.
It's being super nitpicky because
that's
like I
said,
two defenders on him. He's got to get it over the top of 54, who's putting his hand up in his face.
Yep.
He does have the other defender that recognizes that Addison's open. And then he also has a defender too on the right side. So it's a pretty big window though.
It's a pretty big window. He didn't have to put the ball that far out front. And anytime the receiver has to leave his feet that far for the football, I wouldn't count that as necessarily a super accurate throw, but it's good enough. It counts for 6 points.
Right.
That's what's exciting about that. Down in the red zone. How many times did we see Gino have a problem in this situation, panic, and then maybe have a throw like we saw Darnold roll into his left where he just didn't see a dude?
Yeah. So that is Sam Darnold and his pressure throws against a few different teams, including our Seahawks, that I still don't like looking at that play, but now he's our quarterback. And I'll be happy to see him do that against the Rams or the Cardinals, and especially the 49ers.
I would be excited if he beats the Rams this year instead of like last year where he couldn't beat the Rams. But
they also cheated. Didn't the Rams face mask him late in the game and it went uncalled?
Yeah, they did. They did. That's fair. Yeah, cheating Rams. The football has to work in LA. Has to.
That's my takeaway. I don't know
absolutely.
about you,
but you do see that, for as much as I'm not excited about the dude. Like there's a reason John Schneider said, look, for the money, I think that we're going to do well with Sam Darnold. And there's stuff on tape. These are great examples that you just showed where you go, you know what? That's not bum quarterback play. Like that's good to very good for stretches. And that's why he got paid, and good for him.
Well, and that brings us to another thing too of do we do this a little bit more? Should we look at some of Sam Darnold's other moments? Because this was just a small subset of Darnold's play where he's under pressure. Yeah, I think I had 32 plays, did I say, to choose from?
Yeah.
That were Sam Darnold under pressure and completions. He had 32 completions of, I think, 80 some attempts. And you got to figure when you're under pressure, a lot of those are either going to be throwaways. I think I counted maybe 4 that were interceptions. I played 1, and some of them are going to be sacks too. But, again, a small subset. There's other subsets of plays that we can go into with Sam Darnold and his Vikings career last year.
There are. And look, you were just talking about these under pressure throws and that there were some that were throwaways. Sometimes throwaways are the exact right play, and you're excited about that as a fan. Good decision. Thanks for getting it out of bounds. Just get to the next play. Defense gets paid too. So they're pretty good out there. Occasionally you're going to get got, and you just need to get rid of the ball and be smart about it. And look, I think that some of the things that you picked out here are reasons to get excited. And if you guys all like this sort of thing, let us know in the comments. And I think we have a couple ideas of some different types of plays out of Sam that we'd like to kind of see from last year, because really that's the only year that we have to look back on and be like, this is where it was good quarterback play.
I'm not going back to watch Jets Sam Darnold. I'll tell you that much.
I wouldn't either. I don't even count the Jets stuff, to be honest, because Jets, but Panther stuff possibly.
Yeah, there might be something there. So, let us know either in the YouTube comments. You can let us know on our Discord. And if you want to become a member of our Discord, you can go to getintheflock.com. $3 and above gets you into our Discord channel. 12 and above gets you a thank you as we give you a shout out on our monthly flagship episodes. And we should have one of those coming up as well. But yeah, getintheflock.com. Join us there, and you can comment straight to us there, not just anonymously in the YouTube comments, which, I don't always look at.
No, and Clinton does a great job of getting in there and interacting with folks. I probably am somewhere in between Brandon and Clinton there. But we do appreciate likes, comments, subscribe skis, all that stuff. That's really cool. And if you want to see more of future Hall of Famer Sam Darnold broken down from his 1 year with the Vikings, let us know.
And I think with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.